the governors here present and all the members of parliament. Before I say a word in about 1 or 2 minutes, we have leaders here who have come to the closure of this festival, cultural festival. And with us we have Ker Odungi Randa. Ker, can you just wave to the people? I have the Senator for Siaya, Honorable Dr. Oburu Ogenga. Nyathikich. Oangi Senator Mavihiga Godfrey Ososi, who is the Deputy Party Leader of ODM. We have Nikal, Dr. Nikal, who is the Chairman of Dual. Nikal. We got Ben Suda, the County MP for Homa Bay. We have the Member of Parliament for Game, Elisha Odhiambo Akubwa. We got the Member of Parliament for Bondo, Mr. Chanda. And I have present the Deputy Governor of Kisumu, Dr. Willie, who has been chair of this festival, the steering committee. And then we have the governors here present. I begin with the governor for Migori, Dr. Ochilo Ayako. The governor of Homa Bay, Nyasuna. The governor of Kisumu, Anyang' Nyong'o. We have cabinet secretaries, beginning with the intellectual Ophio Wandai. We have Honorable Miano, who is in charge of tourism and wildlife. And I think we have many other dignitaries, including the Secretary General of UDA, Hassan Omar, and the governor of Uasin Gishu, Kotimoja. Your Excellencies, we are going to spend a very short time here, but I wish to say that this 4th edition of the Piny Luo Festival comes to a close today. And we want to express our gratitude to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, seeing it fit to come and join us in this very wonderful festival for the last 3 days. And on top of it, he has made it possible for the President of Uganda, His Excellency Kaguta Yoweri Museveni, to be here with us. Your Excellency, Raila Odinga has worked with us in preparing this festival to success. And Your Excellency, I wish to mention that the national government has been a partner in organization of this festival. And I want to thank Mrs. Miano. You really have helped in every way. This is not our festival, it's also your festival. Thank you very much. And there's a young lady there who is a Principal Secretary, Uma, Sante Sana. She was here dancing with us, and doing everything to make this a success. So what I'm saying, Your Excellency, is that you should continue supporting the Piny Luo from this one to the next one, which will be in Migori. Most of the things that we have to say, we'll say at the stadium. So for now, allow me to invite Professor Adams Olo just to recap what has been the highlights of this festival. And then I'll come back to call the next speaker.
Your Excellency, the President of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, all protocols observed. Your Excellencies, this was the 4th edition of Piny Luo, and it was like no other, because it was the first time since 1953 when Jaramogi Oginga Odinga led Luos in the then East Africa, Luos from Kenya, Luos from Uganda, Luos from Tanzania, to unite. Many years later, more than 6 decades, this year, the Right Honorable Prime Minister decided to extend what Jaramogi had started. And this year, we were not confined to the 3 countries, former 3 countries of East Africa. Because in this Piny Luo, Your Excellencies, we had the Shilluk and the Chol from South Sudan. We had the Anywa and Shilluk from Ethiopia. We had the Luo of North Mara, Tanzania here. And we had the biggest delegation, Your Excellencies, from Uganda, where we had the Padola, complete with your own defense minister, right here, Your Excellencies. We had the Achol, from whom we got keynote speakers. We had the Alur. We had the Lango. We had the Kumam. We had Luos from DRC Congo that has the highest population. And we had Luos from as far away as Chad and Central African Republic. Our theme was the spirit of the Luo nation. Luo unity in diversity and Luos in the diaspora. During those 2 days, Your Excellencies, we went back to what our forefathers knew how to do best. We played a jua. We did a man, which is wrestling. We went to boat racing at Witch Loom along Lake Victoria. We played football. We ate Luo traditional cuisine, from aluru to ayuer to all kinds of vegetables. And this year, the Honorable Prime Minister told us that since we are inviting all Luos, we have to come to our great ancestor, Ramogi Ajuang, and Your Excellencies have been to his homestead up the hill, because it was the spirit of the Luo nation. And that theme was basically saying that we are one people, even as we belong to different nations. So we are Luos, but we are also Kenyans. We are Luos, but we are also Ugandans. We are Luos, but we are also Tanzanians. We are Luos, but we are also South Sudanese. We are Luos, and we are also Congolese. So let nobody say that we were excluding. We are just a multinational group. And we were celebrating that we are Luos, as Luos would say, 1-1-1. But we were also admitting that because of the colonial boundaries that put us in different countries, and that is now stable, we also belong to different nations. And that diversity and unity was for us to say, we know where we came from, we know where we are, and we are Africans. Lastly, Your Excellencies, we looked at ourselves through our keynote speakers, and we said, what is the identity of a Luo? What is it that if you look at, you'll say, I'm a Luo? And we ended up with one word in Luo, Kitwa. Our character. That what it is that you, when you see, you can say, Jaluo. Quest for truth, quest for social justice, cosmopolitanism. We are not parochial. We don't exclude. We embrace. We welcome. We fight for the good, whether within us or within the nation. And nobody can deny that whenever Luos are, they fight for the national good. And therefore we say that as Luos, if we are to lose that character and adopt a Shauriako attitude, then we will have lost our moral code as a people. Because wherever we have gone, from Bar El Ghazal to the Great Lake that the colonialists made us call Lake Victoria, but we know as Namlolwe, because that's what our ancestors divined. That as we migrated from Bar El Ghazal, when we finally reach the big lake that has no end, that's where we shall settle. And those Luo communities I've mentioned, all are settled along the lake. And therefore we remorse and said in one running call, and Jokanyanam Nuohu Kodauru, Joy! 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 And we concluded that this time we shall follow, Your Excellencies, what you started in supporting Raila Amolo Odinga for the Pan-African cause. And we said, we are following you. We are supporting him, not because he's a Luo, but because he's somebody who has proven that he can surmount challenges. We are following, not because he's an East African, but because he has demonstrated that daunting tasks need those who have a proven record. We are following, as was suggested, that we shall have a Pan-African Convention of Luos in 2026, that he is a Pan-Africanist. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm so sorry, there were some MPs here whom I didn't recognize. I ask all the members of parliament who are present, please just stand up and be appreciated. They are quite a number. That is, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would have called all the delegations which are present one by one, but we don't have the time. And Professor Adams-Olo has enumerated where these delegates come from. But in conclusion, President Ruto and President Yoweri Museveni, I want to say this here because I know President Yoweri Museveni proposes the principle of the Federation of the Willing. And I think in pursuit of that principle, if Kenya and Uganda, we can have open borders, it would be a good start. It would be a very good start. I can tell you a lot of people that I know in business, in public service in Kenya, used to work in Uganda. Even in Bondo, you'll find a lot of businessmen who made their money in Uganda or worked in Uganda. And I think the reverse can also be said. So if it is really the Federation of the Willing, probably one of the things that can come out of this Piny festival, since our communities stay on both sides of the border, you can pronounce today that beginning from now, any Kenyan can walk across to Uganda, and any Ugandan can walk across to Kenya. And that would be the beginning of the journey of the East African Federation. And you want to see it in our lifetime. We want really to see it in our lifetime. With those many remarks, let me now call upon the Cabinet Secretary in charge of tourism and wildlife to say a few words, and then invite the Prime Minister, who will then proceed from there. Our color was blue during this conference. It's only Mrs. Miano who is compliant. So you just recognize the two, they will speak. Thanks to each.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, all protocols observed, we are here today to witness the fusion between culture, sports, and tourism. And this is the way to go. We have seen significant progress. In 2024, we had various cultural festivals that have become not only regional, but international, and they have become a significant spice and ingredient of tourism. We look forward to a very prosperous and progressive 2025. And with those few remarks, I want to invite the former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya and the candidate for the African Union Commission Chairperson, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, to speak.
Your Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, governors, distinguished guests, wananchi yote hamjambo, Osaurehuru, Umor, Will, Ushiek, Erukamana. Your Excellencies, feel welcome here in Ramogi Land. I am very delighted to have opportunity to speak here before my two brothers. I talked to my brother William Ruto. I told him that there's something very special that is being celebrated here. That what is called Piny. That this time they've invited people from all over Eastern Africa, from DRC, Uganda, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Tanzania. And it would be a very good idea if we could invite our neighbor to come and join us. He told me I'm going to call him. And he called him, and Yoweri agreed to come to be with us here today on the 2nd, just one day after the New Year, when he should be with his families in Uganda. This is a great honor that we don't take for granted. And it also shows a good neighborliness, a neighbor who comes to you at the time of need. So we are happy. We, Kenya and Uganda, we are brothers. We, of course, have the artificially created borders, which were drawn somewhere in Berlin, where none of our forefathers were represented. now have become hostage to these borders, artificial borders. They have divided their people across countries. Here you see you have got the Karamojong there and the Turkana. You've got the Pokot in Kenya and Uganda. You've got the Sibei and the Sabaot. You've got the Bukusu and the Wagishu. You've got the Samia, Kenya, and Samia, Uganda. And then you've got, of course, the Luos here, the Luos in Uganda, and so on and so forth. So we have been hostage to these borders, which were created artificially, which have divided our people. And our view is that these borders, we don't need to become impediments to cooperation and working together. This gathering here is not political. It's just cultural, to bring people together, people who share common culture. Because Waswahili wanasema ati mwashamila ni mtumwa. So this is how you develop culture. Culture cannot be static. Culture is dynamic and moves as society grows. And we were able here, you have seen when we were here, and we had people from Ethiopia. The representative of the king of the Ruto in Ethiopia came here with his team and showed us how they do, what they do, which some of which are different, and what do we share in common together. We have the Padola also speaking here. The Acholi were here. The Alur, and so on, even the Luos of Tanzania. So this is a good reunion. And this is not a reunion of politics. You don't talk politics here. Where you live is your country. When you're in Kenya, you're a Kenyan. When you're in Uganda, you're a Ugandan, and so on and so forth. But this also actually emphasizes the need for African unity. Because we have become hostage to the borders which were imposed by the colonialists for a long time. And we really think that it is time now to actualize the dreams of the founding fathers of the African Union. If you look at what was being said at Addis Ababa at that time, everybody was talking about African Union now, most of the people. But then there was those who were saying, no, let us be gradual. There were the gradualists and the ones who wanted it to be immediate. And that's where, for example, Mwalimu Nyerere differed with Kwame Nkrumah. But now, 61 years later, Mwalimu himself came and said that he thinks Nkrumah was right, they were wrong. But we need now to begin to look at how can we unite Africa. One of it is the issue of migration. People moving from one country to another country. Make it easier for people to move. Second one is trade. Inter-African trade is only at 15%. Inter-European trade stands at 70%. Inter-Asian trade stands at 60%. Africa trades more with the external world than with itself. This is something that we need to correct. And then, as Jima said, let us open our borders so that people can move freely from one side to the other side. This, in my view, will help a lot. We are at the shrine of Ramogi. This is where the first Luos who came here settled, led by Ramogi. This is nearly 800 years ago, and we were led by Ramogi. They settled on top of the hill. There were Bantus who were living around here. They did not fight. because there was a lot of land. They were able to graze their cattle and their neighbors. Then they started intermarrying. It took those who are called the Jokajok. In Acholiland, they are called the Pajok. The second group that came 250 years later, the second group, the Jokowin, came from the Padola and came also through the same migration corridor and joined here. Or when he joined, they also came to Ramogi. A third group, 100 years later, came from the Alur. They are called here Jokumolu. There they are called the Paymol, who came here. Then the final group that came are the Wanga group, which also came here. So now the Luo of Kenya are basically a hybrid society from different sections of the Luo here, and they've also intermarried with the Bantus they found here. When they came here, they were tall. If you look at colonial literature, the Nilotic, tall, slender, and dark-skinned. And then they said Bantu, short, brown, stout, thick lips, and round nose. Then now they intermarried. This marriage brought the Luos a little bit down and raised the Bantus also here up. And the Luos also became light-skinned now, not very dark like they were when they came here. So it's a hybrid community. And this is very good. Now here, the people here are fishermen. But when they were coming, they were pastoralists. They lost their cattle when they came here through epidemics, fly also, rinderpest. Then they now took to fishing and farming around the lake here. So, Your Excellency, I don't want to make a long speech here. I want to really say that today is a great day for our people here, that you have been able to come and sit with us here today. With us, words and meals here today. So we thank you very much. And now, without much ado, it is now my humble pleasure to invite my brother, William Samoei Ruto, to come and welcome our visitor.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. Let's take our seats. Your Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Excellencies, Governors, CSS, Members of Parliament, the great people of Siaya, and the Luo community of East, Central, and North Africa. Amoso Jadurwa. Jadurwa untie. Jadurwa umor. Jadurwa uil. Let me first and foremost take this opportunity to welcome our guest and friend, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has, in a very special way, honored us with this visit this early in the year, so that together we can tell the people of Siaya and Kenya, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Mzee, you are welcome. You are the Mzee of our region. You have demonstrated great resilience. When I requested you, as the Right Honorable Prime Minister has said, you graciously informed me that any event that brings East Africans together is an event that you will attend without hesitation. And you have done exactly that. And I am amazed that you woke up at 5 p.m., 5 a.m. to undertake this journey of almost 200 kilometers to come here by road. That demonstrates friendship beyond what is ordinary. So, Mzee, we want to say thank you very much for coming to join us as Kenyans and to join the people of Siaya, as I thank the county government of Siaya for putting this event together. This event is a celebration of what devolution can achieve. This event is not just a celebration of culture and tradition and to showcase the migration route of the Luo community from Ethiopia through South Sudan, through Uganda, to Kenya, to Tanzania, to DRC. It is also a great celebration of the success and the importance of devolution in our country. We want to commend the counties for taking up the role of culture. As was said by the seers, shortly we were in Turkana, where we were celebrating the culture of communities that traverse East Africa. We were in Samburu to celebrate the Maasai culture and many others. And today we are here to celebrate the Luo culture, their tradition, the food, everything they have done. And we are very proud that even as we celebrate a community culture, we are celebrating this culture in the context that this community is also a multinational community. They are not only Kenyans, they are also Ugandans, they are Sudanese, they are Ethiopians, they are Congolese. And yet, we are still one community. And it is the context that we can belong to one community and also belong to different nationalities. And we can belong to different communities, but also belong to one nationality. And therefore, as Kenyans, as we celebrate what we have today here in Siaya, we remind ourselves that it is possible for us to belong to one community, but be different nationalities and celebrate those different nationalities. We can also be different communities as we are in Kenya, but also celebrate our nationality as one indivisible nation. And that is why we are very proud to join the people of Siaya, the Luo community in Kenya, East Africa, and the rest of Africa to celebrate this great migration that has brought people from different parts of the world together. I'm informed that yesterday there was great celebration in Wichloom, right here at the lake, of wrestling, of fishing, of swimming, of ajua, and many others. And just to remind you that as part of carrying this culture to the next level, right there in Wichloom, we will be building a fish landing site at a cost of 100 million shillings to support the fishing community as part of taking this tradition and culture of fishing to the next level. And also, as we celebrate this culture, we know that, as the Right Honorable Raila Odinga has said, that culture is evolving, and that evolution comes with education, comes with a build-up of knowledge and greater understanding and accumulation of scientific and other research knowledge, and the need to expand opportunities, institutions that will support the development of culture, the accumulation of knowledge, the use of research. And I was scheduled to come and open this great facility that is here behind us, the Ramogi campus of Nyang'oma Technical Training College. In honor of this event, and in the presence of our friend President Museveni, we will then announce that this Ramogi campus is officially opened today, and will immediately admit students beginning this January. And we have built that institution at almost a cost of 400 million. And my instructions are that a plaque be put there to show that this institution was opened in the presence of Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, so that we also use it as a landmark of the celebration of this coming together of East Africans. Secondly, as we celebrate this culture, it builds our bonds of friendship and unity as East Africans. As we are today, and as the governor of Saya said, we must use the artificial boundaries that exist not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones, not as hurdles, but as bridges for our people, their goods, services, to cross borders between our countries, because there cannot be a successful Kenya without a thriving East Africa. There cannot be a thriving Uganda without a successful East Africa. And that is why it is important for us to build on the successes that we have achieved in putting together the building blocks for trade, investment, business between the countries of East Africa. Finally, this celebration also confirms to us that our quest as a region, as East Africa, to put forward the candidature of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is the correct thing to do, because the Right Honorable Raila Odinga is not a candidate for Kenya. He is a candidate for East Africa. And before we rolled out his candidature, we went to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as the elder of our region. We spoke to all the East African heads of state, and we confirmed that we had the right candidate with the right credentials to be able to champion the unity, the progress, and the success of Africa as a continent. And so far, we have seen tremendous progress and enormous support for the candidature of Raila Odinga for the Africa Union Commission chair. We are confident that his credentials that traverse many areas, his proven track record as a Pan-African, as a foresighted uniting factor, is going to be of immense value to our region in matters of ensuring that our region is peaceful, managing the different conflicts in our continent, building on the success of East Africa to build trade, investment, business into the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and create one big market of 1.4 billion people under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We are very confident that the successful bid of the Honorable Raila Odinga is going to see the fortunes of our continent change for the better going into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, as has been said, we have not come here to discuss matters different from culture, from tradition, and what brings us together as the people of this region. But allow me to say that as we build on culture, as we build on our roots, and as we make sure that we have a successful nation begins with a successful family, successful communities, successful nations, and a progressive region. We have gazetted 2 cultural heritage sites here in Siaya. Where we've come from this morning, Ramogi Forest, right here now, is a national certified cultural heritage. We have Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Mausoleum, which was gazetted earlier. As a government, we are also assessing another 7 sites that have historical, cultural, and traditional significance here in Siaya, with a possibility, when they meet the threshold, for us to gazette these other sites. We are currently assessing cell blocks in Oyama Highland, Oyamo Highland, for purposes of gazettement as cultural site. We are also assessing Paramount Chief Odera Akango Office, also as a cultural site. Nomia Church is a very important site that has historical value, and we are also in consultations. And Owin Sigoma Heritage Complex is also under consideration The same way, Magenta Island Mau Mau detention camp, where we went the other day, is also under consideration for gazettement, and Migwena Cultural Grounds, which I know many of you know where it is, for purposes of, and then of course, we have Siringombe that is still in the balance, but we're trying to see. Sir? Yes. So again, the Ministry of Culture and Heritage is working with the counties to make sure that ultimately we have these sites that will act as beacons of our culture and our tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, because we still have another occasion ahead of us, let me say I'm truly grateful and happy that we have come to celebrate and to conclude Piny Luo, an event that has brought people from different countries into Kenya to celebrate unity in diversity. Asanteni sana. It's now my pleasure to ask our elder, Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, to come and make his statement. Mzee, karibu.
Asante sana. Sit down, please. His Excellency, President Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, who invited us, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, all the other dignitaries, and the attendees of the conference. So we speak here. We speak where? Here or there? Lokkan. We speak here. There is another function there. Are we going to speak there? Where do we say serious things? Here or there? The other one is a football match or something. In a football match, you may not say too many things. So, first of all, I thank the Luos for making me an elder. In the community. I think this is an honor for the people of Uganda. This is the third time I'm being recognized by our Luo people. First of all, it was the Alur. They gave me a name Jalkunga. The Alurs. Then the Achoris gave me the name Lukuya Moi. So I'm waiting for your name here. Secondly, I'm really very happy with this get-together by you people. Recently, we were in Soroti, in Uganda, with the Ateked people. Ateked, the Karamajong, Teso, all those people. The same like here, from all over the place. What you are doing now, you are showing the unfairness of these borders. That's what you are showing, and I'm very happy that you are showing this. These borders, what right do they have to divide people like this? Are they maintained by Christians or by people who are not Christians? Because remember, the Bible says, what God has put together, man should not put asunder. Now, by 1900, that's why I was asking where I should speak, here or there. But I can speak here because it is smaller and you are the elite. And the elite are the ones causing problems. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized. And this one had followed 600 years of slave trade. This was a big humiliation for Africa. The chiefs tried to fight, but they could not manage. But in 1912, a new group of people, educated people, started the African National Congress of South Africa. That was the beginning of the modern resistance by the African people. Now, when they started the resistance, they had 4 historical missions. Mission number 1, chase the foreigners, get independence, get uhuru. But mission number 2, create prosperity for the African people. Prosperity. Watu kuwa na hali nzuri ya maisha. That was the second historic mission. The third one, strategic security. How can Africa be secure from all threats? Because, you know, we had really survived to renusurika because other people who were colonized are no longer there. If you go to America, you do not find American people there. You will find Europeans who took over the land of the Indians. American Indians are not there. I hear there are some, I have not seen them. That the remnants of them are in reserves. If you go to Australia, the land is no longer owned by the people who are of that area. It is owned by other people. Even here, you people, in the 1950s, in the school, I was reading of the White Highlands in Kenya. Hii Kenya ilikuwa karibu kwenda. So, having survived the struggle at second mission, 1900, was to, number 1, chase the foreigners, but second, create hali that gives a good life to the African people. But number 3, ensure that never again will Africa be under threat. Strategic security. Never be under threat from anybody, whatever. So which means you have to build new strength. I will speak about the Ramogi later on if I remember. Our Ramogi there, in Uganda, they had some small rebellion against the British. Of course, the British defeated them. But they killed one white man, 2 or 3 white men. Up to now, they are singing about it. We killed the white man, we killed the white man. Are the Achoris here? Achoris Tiakan. Tie Kwene. Where are you? Some Achoris. They are outside there. But that sort of strength of spears and so on is not what we need now. We need strength which can defend us from all threats, including people who are operating from the moon. Some people go to the moon, and for us, we are here. They are looking at us from there as if we are small insects. And they can spray things on us we don't even know. And we are just here, defense forces. What are you defending? You don't even know what is in the sky. So, number 3, strategic security. But mission number 4 was using the undugu, which exists, to do the other 3. Number 1, independence. Number 2, prosperity. Number 3, strategic security. How do you achieve this? Use the undugu, which is already existing. If there are Jaruos in Congo, in Uganda, in South Sudan, in Ethiopia, in Kenya, in Tanzania, why don't you use that? Why don't you use it to bring these countries together? If there are Bantus in all these places, why don't you use them to bring people together? They are taken care. This is Karamojong and all that. They have been killing one another all the time. I'm the one who came to save them. So please stop killing one another. The Karamojong, the Turkanas, the what? Killing, confusion. What are you fighting for? So they are fighting for cows. They don't know how to look after cows. They are killing them. They say they are looking after them. So, now that we are beginning to use this approach of getting the people together, I am very happy. Where I heard what the professor was saying, that you played football, you wrestled and so on. But I wish you had added one political item. Not 2, not 3. The one of political federation. If you had added, is that highly political or what? What is it? For me, I think if you talk of culture, you cannot avoid that one. The political federation of East Africa. What will the federation solve? The federation will deal with the issue of prosperity. How? How do you get prosperity? I always ask those people, where does prosperity come from? Can you get prosperity from begging Americans for money? Can you get prosperity from what? How are you going to get prosperity? Prosperity, ustawi wa jamii, comes from producing a good or a service. Each family or each company producing a product. Bidhaa au huduma, producing a good or a service and selling it. Now, once you talk of selling, then you are talking of soko. So if you talk of soko, of market, the question is the tribal market of the Jaru enough? No. That's where Kenya is superior to Jaruos only. That's why in Uganda, in our movement, we say patriotism. Principle number 1 of our movement is patriotism. Love Uganda, Uganda fatherland. Why? Because Uganda is better than the Banyankore. Banyankore is my tribe. In Uganda, I sell more milk, more beef, more bananas than I sell to the Banyankore. So if somebody comes and tells me, we Banyankore, I say, Shetani kwenda. Kwa sababu siani yangu ni Uganda. Siani yangu ambayo inanisaidia kuishi vizuri ni Uganda. They are the ones who are buying my milk. They are the ones who are buying my beef. They are the ones buying my bananas. If you come to Victoria, I've got a very nice house there. But that house is from Uganda more than from my tribe. So that's why we say, for prosperity, number one, love Uganda, love Kenya, love Tanzania. But secondly, Uganda is not enough. Soko ya Uganda haitoshi. That's how we talk of our second principle is Pan-Africanism. Love Africa. Why? Because you need it. You need it for your prosperity. And principle number 3 of our movement is socio-economic transformation. Changing the culture, becoming modern people. I don't have time to explain all that. And then strategic security. The Americans are talking of 4-dimensional superiority. That they want to be superior on land, superior in the air, superior at sea, and superior in space. To have capacity to suppress anybody using those 4 dimensions. For us, we are just sitting here. We don't even know what's happening even in the ocean, we don't know. Tunaishia pale Mombasa. What's happening is deep in the ocean, hatuna macho ya kuangalia huko.